What is going on, everybody? Jamie Shaw here on the Absolute Basketball Experience. And today's episode of Prospect Talk, we're taking a look at North Carolina's 2021 class. Now, we're not going to go through the entirety of the class, but what we're going to look at is 4 players whom we feel are a little bit underrated right now. At the moment, guys to look at who could take massive jumps or leaps forward coming in the upcoming season and whatever summer we have in upcoming season. Looking at not having a summer, we still want to make sure that we're able to put to help these players, to help guys get seen, to use our platform to help players get noticed, get seen, get offers, and all that type of stuff. And without being able to play, without being on the court right now, we want to bring that exposure onto some guys. Now, on the Absolute Basketball Podcast, we went through relatively in-depth South Carolina's 2021 class and North Carolina's 2022 class. We didn't want to skip over completely the North Carolina 2021 class, but we did want to talk about it. We did want to talk about some guys, some underrated guys. Now, there are a whole lot more guys that are underrated, a whole lot more guys that are looking to take leaps and all that kind of stuff. But these are 4 that really stuck out to us as we took a look across the board as we were looking at rankings. Now, obviously, Absolute Basketball does not do rankings. They're not doing we're not doing, state rankings or anything just yet. So we took a look at the players within the state of North Carolina, Hoop Scene, Phenom Hoop Report, Prep Hoops, and Big Shots. And we took a look at their rankings, and that's what we're going to be using for these 4 players within this episode. So we're going to show you some game film. We're going to go through them as a player. We're going to go through what, their stats, what they did, kind of what they are as players. And all that kind of stuff, and kind of give a good little scouting report, let y'all know who these guys are and who we think could be guys that are on the verge of taking big steps in the upcoming months throughout the course. Before we get into it, we ask that you please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. If you would, please go ahead and click the like button, give it the thumbs up, and in the comment section below, we want to hear from you nationwide. The most underrated player in the 2021 class, basketball nationwide. Comments below. We want to hear from you after you subscribe, after you like. And if you enjoy what's being said here, please feel free to share this across your platforms, your social media accounts, your websites as well. We would appreciate that. But without further ado, here are 4 players underrated in the North Carolina 2021 class. Thank you guys very much. And let's go ahead and get started here. 6'6" Jaden Doyle of Freedom Christian School in Fayetteville, North Carolina. This past season, Jaden averaged 12.6 points per game while shooting 48% from the field and making 1.4 threes per game. Why is that 12.6 impressive? Because the team only averaged 48 points per game. He had 3 guys on his team in double figures and 11 guys total who played 20 or more games for the team, with 17 total guys playing for the team. So not a lot of points being scored with a lot of players getting playing time too. 12.6 on 48%, 1.43 per games. If you go with adjusted rate, and this is one that you need the eye test for because the stats do not tell the full story, which may be why he's lagging behind a little bit. Also, he's new to the state. He came from Tennessee, South Doyle High School in Knoxville, Tennessee. He transferred to Fayetteville this past year to play for Freedom Christian. He does have offers. He's most recently picked up a UNC Wilmington offer. He's also got Western Carolina and Howard offers. But here's a player that is not ranked by Hoop Scene, 29th by Prep Hoops, 16th from Phenom Hoop Report, and 23rd by Big Shots. We're excited to see, as he has seen more, we're excited to see what type of offers and what type of, what type of notoriety that he picks up as he has seen more, as he gets more exposure and all that kind of stuff. He's a highly athletic player. He's a shot maker. And he's got great positional size and all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the video clips that he has from this past season. We're going to take a look at his Huddle Mix, Jaden Doyle 2019-20 season. All right, there he is. First play, down the middle, piping. There goes that athleticism we were talking about, obviously standing 6'5", 6'6". Another lob play. Filling the lane hard. He fills the lane with purpose. Backdoor cut. Smart off-the-ball movement, and he dunked it on a 6'8" big right there. Showing the athleticism, showing the off-the-ball IQ. There goes the shot-making ability. As we said, 1.4 threes per game. Okay, so 1 off the catch, 1 off the bounce. Another one off the catch that was deep. Where are we going here? Okay, so off the bounce. Steps into a mid-range shot. Screen off the movement. So he's pretty much shown the entire gamut right here with athleticism, taking it off the bounce athleticism, catching lobs athleticism in transition. He's shown the ability to shoot the three off the catch. He's shown the ability to shoot the three off the bounce. He's shown the ability to create space, come off movement. He's cut off ball. There it goes. Wow, two-handed dunk. Baseline. Let's see what he does here. Creates left to right crossover. And there goes his strong frame right there. As you saw, he was getting rid the whole time, kept the guy on his hip, finished at the basket through contact. Another backdoor alley-oop off the inbounds play. Wow. Getting out transition. A steal on defense. Wow. Big dunk. Another steal on defense. The last two plays you see him playing in the passing lane there. Looked like he glided a little bit on that one. Two hands in transition. Another three-pointer. Let's see. Right to left. Oh, my gracious. Floater in the paint. Another three-pointer off the catch. I mean, he's showing the full offensive arsenal from a wing here. As you can see here watching his game, it's easy to see as to how his offers are progressing. He started off with some low major with Western Carolina Howard. He's jumping up to mid-major with UNC Wilmington. And as he's continued to see more, his offer should continue to grow on top of one another as the list continues to grow. Off the rip, you see that Jaden Doyle has great positional size at 6'6" and right at 195 pounds. He's got good length. And he's got a great physical frame. He's got the great physical makeup of a true wing, moving toward the next level. Also, you notice his athleticism. He's got pop in his game. He's got aggression, switching ends, filling the lanes, getting from one end to the other. He's got pop. He's got athleticism. And he plays in straight lines. If you notice, he was one move downhill straight to the basket on all that stuff. There wasn't all that dancing around with the ball up top. There wasn't all of that. It was one move, either right to left, down to the paint, or left to right, down to the paint, straight downhill. He also showed some creativity in making shots. His footwork, his ability, he showed a couple step backs in there. He showed the ability to get into the mid-range. He showed some craftiness in the paint. He showed all that type of stuff, his ability to make shots. And he showed IQ off the ball. He's a very good cutter, draws attention. He's making the cuts, I guess, as the defense is giving it. You saw a couple times with the back door where he was able to catch his man looking the opposite direction, went back door, caught either a lob or a behind or a bounce pass toward the basket. He also had a couple times where he was coming off screens, catching the ball off movement, knocking the three-pointer down off the screen, off of movement, all that kind of stuff. Very good cutter off the ball, which is a big thing for wings as well. Easy buckets. Easy buckets come off of good cuts, especially if you cut hard, cut with purpose. Now, he is still improving on his left hand and his shot mechanics and balance. I guess not his shot mechanics, his shot release and balance. Shooting it off the catch, shooting it off the bounce, you can sometimes see a lack in consistency with his release, a lack in consistency with his balance point. Those are things that will continue to come with repetition. Those are things that will continue to come with practice, film study, as well as in-game usage going from the practice floor to games. That's just a repetition thing. That'll come as long as he knows that that's what it is that he's looking to do. Also, the left hand. If you notice a lot of times in this film, he had a whole lot of confidence attacking downhill with his right hand. He wasn't exclusively right-handed. He went to left. He did go left quite a few times in there, but it always seemed to come back to his right hand. Just gaining more confidence and all that kind of stuff, which will come again with drills, with repetition and all that type of stuff. His weaknesses, I'm not even going to say weaknesses. The stuff that he's improving on is not glaring. They're things that continue to work as he continues to grow within his game, as he continues to get more experience, as he continues to go from film study to games and continues to get reps. Those are things that will continue to grow. But for him, not ranked 29, 16, and 23, we feel like as he continues to get these reps, as he continues to get this training session in, as he continues to grow, the natural makeup is there for him to grow more than these three offers that he currently has with Western Carolina, Howard, and UNC Wilmington. We feel that that will grow. We feel that his ranking will grow. We feel that all that type of stuff will grow. Jaden Doyle, the first player in the North Carolina 2021 class that we're very excited to see moving forward, possibly take a jump in the coming month. Second up here, we want to take a look at Toby Harris. a 6'7" prospect out of Durham Academy School. This past season, Toby averaged 12.2 points, 5.4 rebounds per game. He shot 44% from three on 87 makes, and he shot 55% from two for the 28-5 Durham Academy team that made it to the state Final Four game in the playoffs. He currently carries no offers, but as a 6'6", 6'7" shooter, sniper, bucket getter. We'll land on bucket getter. He's a scorer. As a 6'7" scorer from the wing who has positional size, he's got straight line athleticism, he's got length, he's got touch, he's got all of that. Excited to see what these next few months bring from him if we're able to get back on the court during AAU and then into next season at Durham Academy. But here we go. I want to take a look at his film. I want to see what we have coming here from Durham Academy. This is a YouTube film listed, Durham Academy highlights, number 21, Toby Harris, class of 2021. Let's go ahead and take a look at it and see what we got with him. Here we go. Toby Harris. There he is, number 21 right here. Caught it off balance, went to the open spot. Guy was driving downhill. He faded with him to the thing, to the area. Let's see here. Quick and easy bounce. That's another thing about his game that's very sneaky, is that he does have straight line athleticism. He does have sneaky bounce, and he has good length to him as well. There he is defending there. Going straight to a spot. Point guard gives it the ball. Quick release, on balance, high release. If you notice two things about Toby here, he's got the shooter's mentality. He's always on balance. If you see there, he caught it with his in stride with his footwork into the jump shot, and his release point is always at the same height, same place, shoulder square to the basket all the time. So let's see what we go with here. Point guard brings it across half court. Nice little finish at the basket. You saw there, it was a quick reverse, sloppy closeout, 2 dribbles to the paint, finish at the rim. That's the scorer's mentality. That's the one thing here that I think Toby Harris kind of gets a little bit chastised with, is being just a shooter. Yes, he did shoot 44% from three, and yes, he did make 87 threes this year, but he's more than that. If you notice here, see, a couple dribbles, gets to the basket, finishes. I guess he got fouled there. He's more than that. He's able to take 2 dribbles and get to his spots. He's able to attack closeouts. He's always on balance, and he has that IQ of getting his shot off and where his spots are on the floor, of where he wants to get to and what that shot looks like. And he's always, again, on balance with a similar release point. Good eye there, good pass on the backdoor cut. Catching it, ready to let it fly. And as we look at that film, we notice a few things here about Toby that really translate. It's very exciting about why we think he's a player who could go from the no offers he currently has into a few offers moving here in the next few months. Off the rip, positional size, 6'6", 6'7", with good length. That is obviously a great thing for a wing. The jump shot, the balance, either off the catch or off the bounce, he is always square. His shoulders are always lined up, and his feet are always ready to go, and the ability to get the shot off quickly. His release point is also always consistent. It's always up high to the basket, soft, all of that. So the jump shot, no matter the movement that he's on, no matter if he's fading away along with his point guard, if he's coming around the screen in a hard jab, if he's off the bounce, even creating for himself or off of a 2 dribble pull-up, the balance is always square, and the jump shot and the release is always consistent. And 44% on threes on 87 makes on the year. He also played his best with the brightest lights this season. This year, he averaged 12.7 per game for a team who won a lot of games this year, for a 28-win team to the state Final Four. Well, his best games, 19 against Montverde, 20 against Greenfield, 20 against Ravenscroft, 22 against Charlotte Latin in the state Final Four. Those are the biggest games that the team played this year against the best teams. He showed up and played his best. So the bright lights against the incredibly talented teams Toby Harris played. He was able to attack closeouts. Part of his coming off the ball, being on balance, enables him to, if the shot's not there, get to his spot off of 1 or 2 dribbles to get to where he's going at. You saw a couple times where he went all the way to the rim and finished at the rim. But what is more translatable for him in his game are those 2 dribble pull-ups in the mid-range. Getting into his spots, both left and right, feeling comfort, getting his base underneath him, and getting into that release point as the defense is in between, switching and closing, getting into that spot, knocking it down with that high release at 6'6", 6'7", and his IQ off the ball. As we said before, he gets spotted up in his spot, ready to catch the ball. As the deeper his point guard gets, he continues to fade with the point guard, finding the angle. He also is able to come off the screen, get his balance, get his footwork right, coming off the screen, finding the open spot, whether or not he's being chased and closing the screen out this way, or if they're going underneath to kind of fade away from it and find the spacing in order to get his shot off. His footwork's always there as well, and he's able to get it off because it is a quick release and it is a high release point at 6'6", 6'7" as well. Things that he's still improving on. The lateral ability and the strength kind of goes hand in hand. He's still very thin. There's a lot of stuff there. He's got the broad shoulders. You can see a projectable body. You can see a projectable frame as he continues to get into a college weight room, as he continues to get on a college diet, and all that type of stuff. You can see where the weight's going to come from. It's just not quite there yet. Now, he does still have some pop in his game. He's got some straight line athleticism, and he's got the ability to, as he attacks these closeouts, if the rotation's late, to go up and put it on your head. But that's more going to come as he continues to get stronger, as he continues to develop his core. The lateral quickness will come too because he's got the IQ, he's got the ability and the length and stuff to kind of play in the passing lanes. Just got to continue to get that strength and everything. And another thing that we kind of like to see with him too, in his ability to attack closeouts, is the vision for his teammates. Yes, he's able to score. He is a pure bucket getter. And this is something that develops along the way. You see guys who develop their ability to attack closeouts, finding the open man, making the right pitch and everything like that too, after they get into college. First and foremost, you bring in Toby Harris to your college program to be a bucket getter. And that's what he's going to do. But as he continues to grow, he's going to have to continue to expand his closeouts and make the reads on the pass for where the help's coming from, whether it be the far corner, whether it be down the side, whether it be back up top where the screen came from. Whatever the case may be, whatever the read is, he's going to have to continue to develop that to take his game to the next level. But again, these are all things that will continue to get worked on. Again, Toby Harris, you bring him onto your college campus to be a bucket getter. He's an academic kid. He's at Durham Academy, which is a high academic school and stuff. They win a ton of games. He's very well coached. He is somebody who within guy number two, who within the next few months we would expect to see a rise or an uptick in his ranking, also in his recruitment. Right now, where he stands, Hoops Scene has him not ranked. Prep Hoops is at 122, Big Shots is at 75, and Phenom Hoop Report is at 32. We expect that to be a little bit more consensus across the board, and some offers to start flowing in as he is seen. Both of these guys, Jaden Doyle and Toby Harris, are a little bit new to the scene. They are guys, and all of these guys are guys that this summer could have really helped, and not having a summer this summer, just like with a lot of prospects in 2021, are kind of hurting and kind of, I don't want to say keeping them back, but they're prolonging their breakout. So that's why we're continuing to talk about these guys. For player number 2, 6'6", 6'7" wing, Toby Harris from Durham Academy. Taking a look here at the third player, you have 6'9" post player, Joseph Ferrante from South Meck High School. Joseph is a player who was a 6'5" freshman who played JV 2 years ago. Last year as a junior, he averaged 8.2 points, shot 48% from 3 as a 6'7" big man. Now he is 6'9", playing for South Meck High School, who plays at a very slow pace. He's the only player on his team to average in double figures. Again, almost just like Jaden Doyle. I think South Meck averaged like 52 points per game as a team. Ferrante averaged 12.7 points, 7.1 rebounds, and 2.2 blocks per game for that team. For that team who likes to run the offense and playing at a slower pace to maximize their shots and stuff, as the only player on the team who has 8 or 9 guys to get consistent playing time, as the only player on the team to get in double figures. The stats don't tell the full story. Just like in Jaden Doyle's case, Ferrante is a 6'9" post player. He's a lefty. He's got some toughness to his game. He's got some verticality to his game. He's got great touch. And there's a lot of stuff to kind of like with what he does within the game of basketball within the course. But we want to go ahead and take a look here at his junior year highlights on Huddle. Joseph Ferrante of South Meck High School. Let's see what we got. There he is here in the dunk spot, and he comes down and dunks on a kid. First play of the game, catches the ball. If you see, he's patient there on the dunk spot, getting in his position. Again, same spot, finding the soft spot in the defense, sitting there ready for the ball, catching it and exploding up. Again, straight off of verticality with a player draped on him, he goes straight up and dunks it with two hands under the basket. There you go. So on that one, impressive that he did his work early. If you saw, he beat the ball down the floor and established a deep position within the paint to put his butt down on the guy, established a deep position, and he was wide open on that one. There you go, off the bounce, get into the basket, two hands, screen and roll, attack, another dunk on. Ooh. There you go, sitting with his heels on the baseline in the dunk spot. Catch the ball, ready to go. Coming with the player. Finish at the basket through contact, left hand. Let's see, here's a post up here. What does he do with this? Ooh, little drift into a jump shot there. Okay, Joseph. Little 15-foot touch. There you go on the dunk spot. Finishes through contact and one. Really good looking free throw stroke there. He's a sturdy kid. He's got good strength to him. He's got good size to him. Nice little length. Great hands, great cut off the ball there. Again, he beats the ball down the floor, and he does his work early to get open in favorable matchups at the basket. There he goes again with another one. Feels the smaller guy on his back. He sits down on him, creates a great big target, a low target with a good base. Cut off the ball to the basket. Another one, post move, left hand. He likes going over that right shoulder. Obviously, he is left-handed, so that is his strong side. Well, there you go. So he went right there, came back left, finished through the basket. That was a nice little move. All right, let's see what we got here. Left hand. Taking a look at Joseph Ferrante's junior year film, that's pretty impressive stuff. I mean, you notice the first thing off the rip that you notice, outside of him dunking everything, which we'll get to in a second, was his ability to, or his understanding, I guess, on the block. Multiple things with that. He has good footwork. He showcased a go-to and a counter. He showcased the ability to catch it with his back to the basket and the ability to feel where the defender was and go where the defender came from. He rolled both right and left. Obviously, both finishes were with his left hand. All the finishes with his left hand. We'd like to see him, develop some jump hooks and stuff with his right. But he was able to feel the defender and go both ways, over his left shoulder and over his right shoulder, and finish both toward the basket and, I guess, away from the basket as well. He had a go-to and a counter on the block and an understanding of footwork and feel while he was down there. He also showcased a motor. He multiple times beat the ball down the floor. When the defense was down there, he sealed them close toward the basket early. He got on his man early before the play even started, before the ball was even, across and into the half court, ready to make a play. He sealed his man early, got big, and gave a target on the block. That gave him multiple very favorable one-on-one looks toward the basket and all that kind of stuff. That type of IQ, also that type of motor, really will play well for a 6'9" big guy moving ahead toward the next level. Also, in getting down the floor, he showcased great hands with multiple catches kind of coming over his shoulder in transition, finishing toward the basket, able to catch it in stride and finish at the rim without walking or traveling or bobbling the ball as he goes. Lots of stuff to like there. Another thing, his toughness. He tried to dunk everything. If he caught the ball within 5 feet, he was going up to dunk the ball. This is a lot of times you don't see this with kids, and you hear coaches on the sideline yelling, "Dunk it, try to dunk it." A lot of that stuff that just goes with heart and toughness. Joseph Ferrante showcased that with his ability to catch it every time within 5 feet. He would face the basket and look to dunk the ball. Love that about him. And as he continues to develop his body, as he continues to grow into his frame, as he continues to fill out and get understanding of the game and everything, as he continues to grow, that's going to be a huge asset for his game. Because obviously, as you continue to grow, you're not going to be able to dunk everything. But the fact that you're turning and looking and aggressively trying to score the ball, that's something that's really good, because you would much rather have to tone a guy down than have to bring him up. In this case, this is good. Another thing with Ferrante, you notice his touch. He is a career 75% free throw shooter from the free throw line. You saw his form within there. He shot a free throw in there, and lefty, it looked good. High release point, soft, all that type of stuff. It'll be very interesting to see how he's able to expand that. Most of the stuff that you saw in that film was 5 feet and in. Now, he did attempt 31 three-pointers, and we're not saying that we want him to become a three-point shooter by any stretch of the imagination, but extending out in pick and pop situations, extending out in trail 5 type of situations, utilizing that type of touch within the flow of the offense, maybe even create spacing in the corner, that type of stuff to be able to knock down that 18-foot extended jump shot could be a huge asset added within his game. But his footwork and his low post presence, it's a throwback. It's not something you see a lot, especially this polished from a kid who's only a junior in high school. But as he continues to grow, the things that we want to see him continue to grow with, that he will continue to grow with. Obviously, that jump shot, extending his game out a little bit further. You saw his ability to take it off the bounce a couple times. We would like, just continue to work that within the game, to continue to go away from the basket, to be able to do some more 4-round-1 stuff, 5-out stuff, trail big stuff, pick and pop stuff, just adding that type of versatility to his game because he's got the low block stuff down pat. And at the high school level right now, that's going to be tough to stop. Also, continuing to tighten his body. He's still growing. 2 years ago, he was a 6'5" freshman. Now he's a 6'9" junior. So who knows what his growth pattern is moving forward. He could still grow, or he might be done. Whatever the case may be, continue to grow into his body, continue to get the comfort level of his body. He's got the hand-eye coordination down. He's got the fluidity down. That's still there. But continue to tighten up, continue to grow into his body, and continuing to do all that. And then we'd like to see some right-hand stuff. Everything he did in that was left-handed. Most of the finishes that we saw from him were left-handed. The ability to be able to go over his left shoulder, finish with his right hand with the jump hook and all that kind of stuff just adds more to his game. That type of counter adds more to his game. And all that. And those are all things that he's working on. Those are all things that he can do and will be doing. And not things that necessarily deter what's coming on, but the fact that right now he's sitting with no offers. And this was going to be a big summer for him. He's the type of guy that as he is seen, as coaches see him, get their eyes on him, get the feel for his legitimate size, get the feel for how hard he works in his game and his skill level and all that type of stuff. As he is seen in person, as he's seen live, and you don't worry about the stats, you don't worry about the adjusted pace of play, you don't worry about all that type of stuff, you just watch. He's the type of guy that, a few offers, and as the first offer comes, the next one and all that kind of stuff too. He is an academic kid as well. But looking at the rankings across the board, not ranked by Hoopsy, not ranked by Prep Hoops, not ranked by Big Shots, and he's 65th by Phenom Hoop Report. Expect those numbers all to rise. Also expect the offer sheet sitting at 0 right now to continue to rise as well over these next couple months, depending on when, how, et cetera, he is seen. South Meck also got a new coach, Coach Hall, recently as well. So excited to see how their pace of play changes as well moving forward. But that was guy number 3, 6'9", Joseph Ferrante from South Meck High School. And lastly here, we're looking at Breon Pass, 6 foot of Reedsville High School. Breon just recently this past week announced that he is not playing football. He had high major offers from the likes of NC State, South Carolina, et cetera, North Carolina. He announced that he is focusing strictly on basketball here. After he announced that this week, he picked up a UNC Wilmington offer. We're expecting more of those to come for a couple of reasons. Breon, there aren't a lot of holes in his game. He is a 6-foot point guard who's got handle, bounce, and can shoot the cover off the ball. He's tough. He's got strength. There's a lot of stuff to like within his game and all that stuff, as we're going to show you here in this video. You notice that this past year, Breon Pass averaged 21.1 points, 7.4 rebounds, 7.3 assists, 3.2 steals, and he shot 44% from the three-point line. For his career, he has already scored in 3 seasons 1,763 career points, with 66 career wins to only 19 losses, and he shot 47% from 3 on 204 makes. 1,700 career points, 47% from 3 on 204 career makes, with 66 wins to only 19 losses. For Breon Pass, in his basketball career. Again, he has shared this his whole time as a Power 5 football player as well, playing in state championships and all that kind of stuff for Reedsville High School. He has said that he's going to focus solely on basketball now. So that's kind of why he makes this list here for us, wrapping up the 4th player in North Carolina's 2021 class. We expect to see more offers and a higher ranking come across. Right now, he is sitting on basketball offers. His last 4 offers were from UNCW, which he just recently got, Hampton, North Carolina A&T, and Elon. He's picked all those offers up this year as well. Right now, he is ranked by Hoops Scene as number 15 in the state, by Prep Hoops at number 11, Phenom Hoop Report number 10, and Big Shots at number 13. But here we go. We want to take a look at a video that was posted on February 11th, 2020 by Big Shots Nation, titled Top 2 Sports Star in Carolina's 2021 Breon Pass explodes for 50 points in Big Shots MLK Showcase. Here we go. Here goes the announcement. That's Breon, obviously. Number 1 right there. Trust the process. All right. Opening tip. Here he goes. He goes for 50 this game. The steal off the rip, 2-handed dunk. First play of the game. You know it's going to start off going well. Obviously, as you saw there, a 6-foot point guard. He goes up and easily 2-hand dunks. That was with ease. Obviously, the guy was in the way, but he got up easily. There goes a 3-pointer. As you saw, 44% last year from 3, 47% from his career. He can do all that. Athleticism, hang time, craft in the lane. There goes some toughness as he took a bump. The speed, getting to the basket, beat his man down the floor, showing some craft again around the basket as he finished. There goes the fire and the pull-up jump shot, the 3 with ease. Got to a spot, easy bucket. Still talking, still excited. There he goes, offensive rebound. You notice as a 6-foot guard, he did average 7.4 rebounds per game last year. And here he goes again with another offensive rebound finish at the basket. The toughness. I mean, he was a Power 5 wide receiver getting offers from ACC, SEC type of schools, and he was a priority for them as well. So he's not soft by any stretch of the imagination. As you can see here, as you can see by the excitement, he plays with a ton of fire within his game, and he has some explosion. He's got the quick twitch, and he's got the toughness to take contact and then finish at the rim. There you go. You see here. Another finish at the basket. Took it right at the big man's chest, absorbed the contact, finished at the basket. A little bit of fire and excitement. The guys are too little for me. Another jump shot, 3-pointer. Finish at the rim. Another and 1. Another through contact. The speed got the defender off balance. Finishes. Head up, pull up 3-pointer in your mouth. The fact that he can shoot the ball like this, and it's volleyball type of range. I mean, he's shooting the ball from 5 to 10 feet out, off the bounce, off the catch, and he can pull up on a dime. As you see right there, the hezzy pull up into a jump shot, that's just a hard thing to guard because he's a career 47% 3-point shooter, but he's also got the quick twitch athleticism to get past his man and blow by. So you have to with that hezzy. And then hit the block shot. If you saw that came across right there, blocked the shot off the thing. They just won the game. Made a big defensive stop, which is no surprise for Breon Pass, as he averaged 3.2 steals per game last year. He is a very good defender. So what did we just see there from Breon Pass? Well, what we noticed there, obviously, he scored 50 points in that game. Big-time game. Not a lot of people have scored 50 points in an entire game in North Carolina history, so kudos to that. But what we saw there was the fact that he does not have a lot of holes, if any, really, in his game. He is a high-level shooter. He has high-level athleticism. He has high-level quickness. He gets to his spots off the bounce, and he really defends the point of attack. That's a lot of things that you like in a point guard. The fact that he is also a Power 5 type of wide receiver, he's got that toughness, and he's got that kind of strength to be able to absorb contact. As we saw multiple times within this video, he took it straight to the chest of the defense, and he finished through that contact, multiple and ones throughout the course of this game. The fact that Breon Pass is such a good shooter, again, we've said it ad nauseum in here, 44% this season, 47% from 3 this year. He was 50% as a freshman, 49% as a sophomore, 44% this year as a junior, with a heavier offensive load kind of alongside with him. he has the handle and the IQ and the footwork to get to his spots off the bounce. If you saw, there were multiple times where he was dribbling up and hit him with the hezzy into the jump shot, but also he hit him with the quick hezzy into the blow by. At that point in time, the defender doesn't necessarily know what to do because you can blow by him with your first step, so he has to respect that. But you can also pull up in his face, knock the shot down, if he gives you an inch. Breon Pass is able to read that and see that. He's able to read the footwork and see the footwork and stuff and take advantage of that. Also, he is a tough defender. 3.2 steals per game doesn't necessarily do the entirety of the justice of what he does. As you saw there, he plays with a ton of fire and emotion within his game, and it's controlled emotion. It doesn't get out of hand and all that type of stuff. It is controlled emotion, and he wants to make it a point, a rugged point, to let you know on the floor that he's better than you. That comes out on the defensive end of the floor, whether it be in passing lanes off the ball or defending the ball for 94 feet, strapping up, clapping in your face with you the whole time. He makes life tough on opposing ball handlers. And the fact that he's only six, I don't want to say only 6 foot tall, because 6 foot tall is adequate size, but the fact that he is 6 foot tall, his ability to defend from 94 feet with his quickness, with his lateral quickness and his strength and toughness and explosion makes him play even bigger, because it takes longer to get into your sets, into the half-court set. When he's able to get into the set, you can run him off screens, you can run him off misdirections, you can post him up, you can do all kinds of stuff with it. But the fact that it takes so long to get to your sets, and you probably are going to have to start your set out a little bit further than you want, than you're used to running in practice and stuff, really is an advantage for him as well. His quickness, his ability to shoot the ball, and all that type of stuff. Also, as a 6-foot point guard, you've got to have that type of stuff to your game. You got to have that ability. If you look at Chris Paul, his hesitation, his ability to kind of pull up, his always on balance and stuff, and read screen and rolls and all that kind of stuff really enables him to be able to score the ball almost at will whenever he wants to. I am not saying at all that Breon Pass is Chris Paul, but what I am saying, they are similar size, similar strength, and all that type of stuff. Breon kind of has that same ability to read the defender, get to his spot, and score how he needs to, whether it be with craft in the paint, whether it be going straight up and dunking it, whether it be pulling up for the mid-range jump shot or pulling up from 3 from the volleyball line, all that type of stuff. His improvements, the thing that he's continuing to improve on is he has always been a dual sport player. Reidsville has played in the state championship game every single year he's been in high school, freshman, sophomore, junior year. He had multiple Power 5 offers as a wide receiver. He was a two-way player, playing defensive back, playing wide receiver, also returning kicks for Reidsville high school team. He has always been a two-sport player with football and basketball. Now he has announced that he is just playing basketball at the next level. This will be the first time that he's been a full-time basketball player. Now, I'm not sure what he's going to do with, let's say, 7-on-7s during the summertime. And all that type of stuff. I'm not sure how he's going to juggle all that, but he is going to go to college for basketball. So you would have to assume that he is going to be devoting more time focusing on earning that scholarship to the appropriate level for basketball as well. With that, there's some ceiling to go because he has never done that before. He has never trained solely, because if you know, basketball shape, football shape, completely different things altogether. Focusing on basketball, focusing on the footwork, focusing on the explosive weights, focusing on all of that type of stuff when it comes to training for basketball will only elevate his game in moving forward and all that type of stuff. So there's still some ceiling to go. So this one, obviously, he's ranked 15 by Hoop Scene. He's ranked 11 by Prep Hoops, 10 by Phenom Hoop Report, and 13 by Big Shots. You say, yeah, that's pretty high. Yeah, it is pretty high. But still feel like only sitting here on with these last offers being from Wilmington, Elon, A&T, and Hampton, that there's room for growth there. There is room for the offer sheet to get longer. There is room for the levels to continue to grow, and there is room there for him to sneak in to be consistently in the top 10 across the board in the state of North Carolina in the 2021 class. Playing for Reidsville High School too. They start later because they're playing football so deep, and they're football players on the team and stuff. They play football so deep into the field. They miss a lot of the early December, November events, showcase events, and all that type of stuff. And it's not a very heavily trafficked area when it comes to college coaches coming through, scouts coming through, and all that type of stuff too. So still, there are some people who have not necessarily seen him except for on the summer circuit when he's playing, when he's sharing minutes with the likes of Terquavion Smith and Bobby Pettiford and all that kind of stuff for the CP3 team on the EYBL. So there's a lot of stuff there to continue to like. There's some growth still to be had for him. And it's going to be very exciting to see as he continues to move forward, as he continues to grow in his game, as he focuses on basketball, what there is over these next couple of months. Again, all four of these guys could have been aided by the dead period. They were probably expected in April to have blown up already by now, but the hand we've been given has been dealt. And here we are. Breon Pass is another one, the fourth guy in the 2021 class that we are very excited to see what these next few months bring for him. And there you have it. Those are four players in North Carolina's 2021 class as we take a look across the board, across the board with the rankings, guys whom we expect to possibly take a jump over these next couple of months looking forward. These are four guys whom we just said would have probably utilized the April, May time with their AAU programs or with their travel ball program to enhance their stock between then and now, and that stuff would have come. However, we're sitting here in quarantine. We're not sure when we're going to get back on the basketball court. So these are four guys that starting right now in June, looking forward into the season, even into whenever coaches can get back into the gym again and people see them more, guys that we feel like could really grow and enhance their stock, both in rankings, both in offers across the board. We have 6'9" Joseph Ferrante at South Meck. We have 6'6", 6'7" Toby Harris at Durham Academy. We have 6' Breon Pass at Reedsville High School. And we have 6'6" Jaden Doyle at Freedom Christian School in Fayetteville. Keep a lookout for those guys. And I'm very excited to take a look back here during signing day and see where these guys are at, where these four are at on that day. Now, I also want to remind you, this is not saying that these are the only four guys that are underrated. I'm sure that we can go through and find a number of guys who are underrated or who could blow up, a number of guys who are this and that and all that kind of stuff. So we're not excluding that. But what we wanted to do, since we are not personally doing rankings, take a look at the four players within the state of North Carolina's rankings and see people whom we can see continue to grow in their game, continue to grow in their exposure and notoriety as we move forward, who could have really used this April time period to blow up, as they say. But make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Make sure that you click the like button, give it a thumbs up, and let us know again in the comments section below in the country, the 2021 class, whom your most underrated 2021 prospect is across the country. And if you enjoyed what was said here, please feel free to share it across your platforms as well. But until next time, I am Jamie Shaw on the Absolute Basketball Experience. Thank you guys very much for tuning in.